stakeholders from industry, government, as well as the private sector to be able to share insights about cybersecurity as far as tomorrow's digital space is concerned. Why this is important for Kenya is that we know a lot more of our businesses are moving towards a digital space. Talk about access to data in terms of communication. Talk about digital transactions such as mobile payments that we make, digital communications, emails, access to the internet. A lot of more of our lives are lived in this particular space. And our duty is to ensure that that space is safe. And if we are not complying, there's certain the consequences in that regard. And in this case, really doesn't matter whether you're a leader or a common citizen. And by the time we are having 93% of Kenyans having registered, and you're among the 7%, ask yourself why you are in the 7% and not in the majority. So for us, I think we treat people equally. And those who have concerns, let them raise those concerns with their operators. Because at the end of the day, we're going to go for the operators if there's no compliance. And therefore, operators are going to play a more critical role in terms of how they ensure that their subscribers are actually compliant. Of course, we've been exploring options in terms of how to push the numbers to 100%. So that those who are going to be disconnected, where there is evidence that actually you're not an active user or the line is not in active use, we need to disconnect that completely. There are those who I think are known to be using the SIM card. So the options that are available to operators are many. Some include denial of service in a more graduated way. So you might be able to receive calls but not make calls out. Why? Because you're not registered, so you have to go registered for you to be able to do that. So, yeah.
Will you attribute the 7%?
With the 7% remaining, it's easier to actually narrow down and find out where they are. And if it turns out that they're in those community places, it will be very easy now to deal with such a situation. Mm-hmm. And mark you, I think Kenyans must also be warned that if you're not careful, your identification details will be used by those criminals in committee to register a SIM card. And then at the end of the day, something goes wrong. You're the one who is going to blame. Today, I know of some cases where some people stole ID details of others and went registered numbers, and now they have Fuliza dates, on those numbers. And they're having now the real owners are having difficulties processing credit facilities when it comes to the relationships with the financial institutions. So Kenyans at large must be very, very careful. And for us, if you register, we can guarantee your safety. If you don't register, we cannot guarantee your safety.